So, while I've been a Warhammer fan for a while, I've never touched the tabletop. Now, that's not because I didn't want to, it's just because I didn't have time or really any opportunities because of how busy I've been in the last year with school and everything else to be able to do that. But recently, I got the Age of Sigmar Warrior box, like the $50 one, and seeing this opportunity that was presented to me, I went into my local Games Workshop store, which is about 15 minutes from my house, and I talked to the manager and everybody else. Not only was the manager extremely friendly, he was also incredibly helpful, so I picked up, like, the Sigmar paint set with, like, the tools and stuff like that, and got to work, and I fell in love with it immediately. Now, full disclosure, I'm on vacation right now, and I brought my miniatures with me because painting next to a lake is very calming, and I also wanted to paint some with my sister because she seemed interested in it. And she's actually a quite good artist as well, so I'm going to link her Twitch and her YouTube and her Twitter in the description below, so yeah, please go check that out. Anyways, I went to a local game store in the area because I thought it would be neat, and I was looking at the Warhammer selection, which was admittedly quite picked clean, and I was looking if there was any, like, small Space Marine boxes that I could get or something like that, because I really enjoyed painting, and I wanted to paint some type of Space Marine, whatever, this or that or whatever, because I like my Space Marines. And I picked up a Thousand Suns box, and my sister was like, "Ooh, those look pretty. I want to paint those." And I was like, alright, so we split the box, dead even, $30 each, and we both started painting, and now I am full-blown addicted to painting miniatures. Before I even got into the hobby, I had, like, a mental list of, oh, well, I'd like to do these, because these armies seem like they'd be cool to play, and I also like the way they look and their lore, so that'd be neat. So, honestly, I'm just fascinated by this hobby, and I'm just really enjoying it. So, first up on my list are Space Marines, well, obviously. Foremost among them are Black Templars and Salamanders. Why? Because their flamer rules are apparently quite good. I'm not necessarily sure if that's the current case now, but I know that they have good flamer rules from what I've heard, and I like my flamers. I'd like to paint my own chapter, one from the last video, because I feel like that'd just be really, really cool, just to have something that I made conceptually be, like, in miniature form. Dark Angels are probably going to be the one that I'm most likely to start as an army, which would be kind of hard because everything on Games Workshop's website is completely sold out for them. Zechariah's gone, Asmodai's gone, Belial's gone, Samael's gone, but you still have Ezekiel and Azrael's still there, but everyone else is just poof, gone. But I'd love to start a Dark Angels army because I just like green, or Salamanders. I just really like the color green. Imperial Fists, because that would be cool. I know painting yellow is a bit of a pain in the butt, but hey, I'm willing to do it. And any Terminators, regardless. Deathwing, First Company, any of them. I just think Terminator units are really, really cool. Also, anything Sternguard, that would be fun to paint. Up next are Chaos Space Marines, which is clearly the only army I've actually started other than the Orcs and Stormcast Eternals, which I know are Age of Sigmar, but that's besides the point. I'd really want to either do World Eaters, Word Bearers, Emperor's Children, or Thousand Sons. I would probably do the Emperor's Children or the Thousand Sons, which is actually quite fitting since they have the Thousand Sons box. I might as well start painting them to look like Thousand Sons, although I did paint them to look a little bit different just because I felt like it, and also I just like the color purple, so hey, what do I know? But I just really like to paint any form of Chaos Space Marines. Hell, even Black Legion, just because I just think they're cool, they're neat. After that would be Custodes, because I like the color gold, and they seem really, really fun. I'm probably most likely to start a Custodes army more than anyone else, because I don't necessarily need to get a lot of models that have a decent point count, so hey, once I eventually get a box of Custodes and start painting them, I'd probably be sitting pretty. Leagues of Atan, because I like my dwarves. Probably that would be the Greater Thurian League. That's the one that I seem to see the most. And, while I don't necessarily know much about them, they seem to be the poster boys for them, and I like the color scheme, so, hey, I'd probably just go with them. Necrons, any of them, don't care. I like Necrons. Same thing with Tyranids. Don't care about the High Fleet. Probably Leviathan or Behemoth. I know those are the most generic ones, but, hey, they're cool in the lore, and the Battle of Macragge is awesome to me. Honestly, regardless of whatever, I just buy minis to paint them, because I think they just would look cool. I just enjoy painting. I'd probably paint Orcs as well as Imperial Guard, but that would probably be later on down the line after I get some decent amount of painting under my belt, since when I would actually like to paint those guys, I want them to be very, very good. And it's easier for me to justify Painting Space Marines a bit then painting Orcs because I want those guys to look really, really good. If I would have to pick 2 out of this list that I'd be most likely to do, it would be Custodes or Chaos Space Marines, because Custodes, like I said before, I wouldn't necessarily have to get a bunch of models for them to have a decent point count to actually be able to play games. And Chaos Space Marines, because apparently you can have pretty diversified lists. You can have some demons in there, you can have vehicles. I just think it would be cool. And honestly, I just really like the Chaos factions. In terms of hopes going into this, with 10th launching in, well, it's already out, but like Leviathan launches, I think, like this Saturday or whatever. This is probably the perfect time for me to get into the hobby, and I'm honestly just really excited. I just want to be able to do this, and even if I never play a game, I'm just happy to paint. Just painting's really fun for me. It's very soothing, very relaxing, just makes me feel good. Hope you all have a good night. Have a good one.